wanted to be a GA because I like working with students. I am planning on going into academia, and I think it's important for future professors to sort of know what undergraduates are doing in their free time, how they're thinking.
So I lived in Kings Court my freshman year, on the 5th floor of English House, and I realized after the fact that my RA had like a really big influence on my freshman experience, and I really appreciated how much like work and effort she put into making the entire hall's experience really great.
So having gone to Penn undergrad and having the opportunity to come back here for dental school, I had felt that I had missed out, so it was a perfect chance to be able to give back to the community from my previous experiences.
Become more involved in the Penn community. I actually lived in Sansom West as just a resident before I applied to become a GA. And being in grad school, it's very lonely. You just go to your department, you don't meet other people outside, especially undergrads. And I think being a GA really sort of changed that, because you get to learn a lot more about the Penn experience. Undergrads, you meet other GAs. There's a lot of exposure to different people across the board, and so I think that has to be my main motivation for becoming a GA.
So I think that one of the things that I most enjoy about being an RA is having the opportunity to really give back in a meaningful way to the college house that basically feels like a family to me. I feel like, well, I enjoyed my time a lot as a freshman living in Kings Court, but to be a part of the staff and to work really closely with the house coordinator, with the house dean, with all the other RAs and GAs to really liven up the community that we're forming. I think that watching the process of that building throughout the year has been really, really enjoyable.
My favorite thing really are the residents and the community that is built here. So being a dental student, again, it's like being in my own little bubble, basically one big building where everything is just within there and it's small, everyone knows everything about everyone. Just being able to come here gives me like this sense of allowing myself to leave everything behind so that I could be there for my residents. And within that whole situation, I also learn a lot about myself. So it's a really good opportunity to be able to take from that and expand upon in my future.
The challenges I've had have been mostly with hospital incidents, occasionally police incidents. It's very hard because you grow to care about your students, and so when you see them going through hardships, it really touches you, and it really just makes you want to help them. And sometimes you have to learn just to step back and let other people step in and help them, and that can be a very hard thing to do. So I think that's the thing I found most challenging, is caring enough to know when to step back and let other people sort of step in.
The biggest challenge I've personally felt like I had being a GA was time management, because hanging out with the residents is a lot of fun, and then just hosting events and doing all the stuff for your house is a lot of fun as well. And so your life can really get just engrossed by all the stuff you do for your college house. And then when you have those exams coming during midterm season or final season, your academics might start slipping away every now and then, and it's hard to sort of get yourself back on track and sort of reserve time for yourself in addition to working in the house.
The advice that I would give is really try to get to know your residents early on, because as time goes by, it becomes a little harder as they become more like engraved within like their own little worlds, and you don't become part of that. But another thing also that I would say is really important is knowing how to separate their lives between yours, because sometimes it can get a little mixed up where you can get too emotionally like invested in a certain circumstance that they're undergoing. So just try to have it in the back of your mind that you're doing the best that you can, and you can't always control that.
Helps like a specific actionable point in terms of like getting to know your residents better is just in general like being present on the hall. I know that's like a huge thing that my house dean stresses, is like it's easier to build those relationships if you're there. So like I don't like things like leaving your door open, or like instead of doing work in your room, like doing work in the lounge and like inviting people to come, like just generally spend time with you. I think the more often you're available, the easier it is for them to like just approach you and like start building that connection.